Good morning and welcome to our Spring Ohigan service. I am Ozaki and I will be the chairperson for this morning. We will begin our Ohigan service with the tolling of the Kansho, followed by Sambujo, Hyobyaku-mon, and the chanting of Butsu Ge, which is on page 25 of the ground service book and is also in your program.
Kansho. Sambujo. Buddha to enter this dojo as we joyfully scatter flowers of welcome. We respectfully call upon the Tathagata Shakyamuni to enter this dojo as we joyfully scatter flowers of welcome. We respectfully call upon the Tathagatas of the 10 directions to enter this dojo as we joyfully scatter flowers of welcome. Today, on this occasion of the 2023 Spring Ohigan service, the members of the Venice Honganji Buddhist Temple have reverently come before Amida Buddha to reflect inwardly on this life, look to the other shore, and to rededicate ourselves to this path of Nembutsu. With deepest reverence and gratitude for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we recite the name Namo Amida Butsu. Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namondos, 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 namondos.
We will start this morning's service with the Gatha Shinshu Shuka, which is on page 65 of the Brown Gatha book. It is also in your program. We will now have a shoko by our organizational representatives. Scout Troop 5325. Sangha teams. Junior YBA. Dharma School. Ava. BWA. Ukyokai. Reverend Kory will now lead us in the reading of the three treasures. It's also in your program.
Hyobyaku-mon. 人参受きくたし今すでに受く。仏法聞きくたし今すでに聞く。おのみ根性に向かってどせずんばさらにいずれの章に向かってかこの明道線。大衆もろともに指針に参謀に消えし立て祭るべし。水から仏に消えし立て祭る。まさに願わくは塩と共に街道を体現して無常に起こさん。自ら法に消えし立て祭る。まさに願わくは塩と共に深く競争に入りて知恵海のごとくならん。自ら僧に消えし立て祭る。まさに願わくは塩と共に大衆を取りして一切無限ならん。無常人事未明の法は約千万号にもあよことくだし、我今検問し従事することをたり、願わくは如来の真実義を消し立て祭らん。The three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life? Now we are living it. Difficult it is to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be free from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth, I put my faith in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of thy way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves thy supreme will. I put my faith in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I put my faith in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord, in thy life of harmony, in a spirit of universal peoplehood, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas. Hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Reverend Kory will now introduce our guest speaker, Reverend Ray Fukumoto, who will deliver our Dharma message this morning.
If you hear the whispering in the background, he's telling me that he forgot to send his bio to me. So, what he wants me really to do is to tell colorful stories about. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to the Spring Ohigan service. We have a really good special guest speaker. He comes from the land of Butsu Ge, Nishin downtown LA. Many of you have heard me talk about him. Not like, his mind goes many places. Especially I said colorful stories, right? Let me start by, if you notice in the chanting, my voice changed. Did you notice? Oh, I think everyone knows that. I kept choking on myself. But it was because I was so up in my head. I've known this minister even before ministry, my ministry and his ministry, all my life. He said, introduce him as Uncle Ray. You call him Uncle Ray too. He'd be very proud of that. I think he'd be very touched and happy by that. But we have a special guest, Reverend Ray Fukumoto, who taught Dharma school at LA Butsu for many years. He was my Dharma school teacher for high school. Almost 25 years ago. Yeah. More than that actually. But so when you say you get up in your head and you have all this kind of human baggage, right? Oh, I gotta do a good job for Uncle Ray or Reverend Ray. But and I said many of you have heard me tell stories about talk about him too. Because he's the guy who hoodwinked me, right? I always talk about I was hoodwinked into ministry. I was working full time in 1997. Making okay, not great money, but making money. And he calls me up at an opportune time when I wasn't really satisfied with just making money and doing an easy job. And so he goes, "Hey, Kory, they're doing this Japan trip. I really think you would enjoy it. Do you remember that?"
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
I got pictures too.
Yeah, we don't show the pictures. But he goes, "I think you really enjoy it." I said, well, I don't want to go. I really didn't want to go with my Uncle Ray, or like, especially because Dharma school and stuff, and I wasn't in a comfortable place. So I said, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. And then a little bit of time went on, and a really special minister for LA Betsui and Mountain View passed away on a Japan trip. Right? And so we went. I went to the funeral. I don't know if you went to his funeral. Did you go?
I was represented.
Oh well, then you were there. Yeah. Okay. He was a representative for Betsui, so that's how important he can be. So I went to this funeral, and it touched me so much because, you know, this minister had done a lot for our temple, especially for the kids. I mean, you know, I don't have video game systems hidden away for the kids. I might have some things, but not video game. He would take us into Gomonchu's room. He's not around anymore, so you could tell. There's a Gomonchu's room, and he would take us, and there was TV, and we would play Nintendo. You know, or he was the guy this minister was the guy who instigated water fights at a picnic, and really, it's really a bad influence. Right? So by going to this funeral, I called at that time Uncle Ray and said, okay, I'll go. You know what kind of trip that was? That was a ministerial candidate exchange trip for a college dropout that we went to Kyoto for like 10 days. With Japanese lectures all day, like chanting in the morning, Japanese lectures all day, and some touring. Well, lots of nighttime activities. But it changed my life. I left Japan, came back, and without thinking it through, and I always said, don't quit your job unless you have a subsequent income afterwards. But I gave 4 weeks notice to my job. Did I tell you that? Well, in fact, everyone noticed though. I gave 4 weeks notice to my job, and I went back to temple, and I said I want to be a minister, and I just don't know how. And it took 17 years to do that. But it was all because of this guy. And I say hoodwinked in a loving, appreciative way, because sometimes that's what it takes. I mean, we're just talking about hoodwinking people, not us, but how sometimes you offer something and substitute something else. He doesn't realize he did that to me, you know. But yeah. He said, I really think you'll enjoy it and you'll benefit from it. And if it wasn't here 23 years later, 23? Yeah, it was 1999. No, that was 1999 trip, wasn't it? 98?
Well, you're doing the Renyo Shonin 500.
So you can look it up. Yeah, that's terrible. Renyo Shonin 500, Renyo Shonin 500 Memorial. Yes. You know, and that's why we're the pink Wagesa all the time. But you know, you could if you have good experiences, just like I said with Matsumoto Sensei, sending emails, keeping the door open, and you're inspired by Jodo Shinshu through this temple, you could thank Matsumoto Sensei, but you can also thank this guy behind, or this sensei behind. So he put himself through Chubutsu, and when I went to Japan, put himself through Chubutsu, and he's a Kyoshi minister here in the United States, and we use him here as my substitute every once in a while. But again, I wanted him to be here for a special service so that I could show my appreciation for him, and you know, again, I don't think I told him a lot of that, but you know, if you just, if you find yourself saying Nambutsu here on your own, from here on out, you could thank him too. Okay. So without any further taking of your time and his, I'd like to introduce Reverend Ray Fukumoto.
少女会議知恵法、無断難事、無償法、初日学校長人選一切無無法書、本願病症状後、自身診療官に、超高学教概念案、一子熱動、安病中。Pure light, joyful light, the light of wisdom, light constant, inconceivable light beyond speaking. Like the excelling sun and moon, he sends forth illuminating countless worlds, multitudes of beings, all receive the radiance. The name embodying the primal vows is the act of true seven. The vow entrusted with sincere mind is the cause of birth. We realize the equal enlightenment and supreme nirvana through the fulfillment of the vow of attaining nirvana without fail. Hello, everybody. Hi. You know, it's been such a long time since I've been here. I see all these friends, and you know, it's like family. This place where I Dharma school taught for almost 9 years here. You know, while I was teaching at the LA Butsu simultaneously, and when I came back from Japan in 2012, I helped out here as a volunteer priest, Reverend Johnny Wahara. And by the way, Reverend Johnny Wahara was also one of my Dharma school students, which people don't know. I mean, I've been quite lucky. I mean, we have Reverend Kory, and we have Reverend John, and then there's Reverend Takashi Miyaji, who the folks here should know, because Miyaji Sensei used to be the resident minister here, and you know, Reverend Takashi Miyaji is now quite the scholar and quite the presence in the Jodo Shinshu community, and one that I'm very grateful for. Now, thank you very much, Reverend Kory. I never hoodwinked him. he was ready and willing if you ask me. But yeah, we go a long way. I've known Reverend Kory's family since before he was born, and we've you know we've stayed close, although not so much anymore. I mean, with you know, with things, you know, as they pass. Now, one of the things that I'd like to share here is that, you know, with the time away from here, from like about 2014 to now, not only, you know, here, you know, in Venice, but at the LA Butsu and my friends, many people that passed, they died. One of my best friends died, a little over a week ago. I was devastated. He was only 75. And it just hurt. You know how many people here remember Ethel Sato? Yeah. You know, Ethel and I go back, way back to the 70s. And to realize that Ethel was younger than I am right now when I first came over to help. I mean, Ethel was 12 years older than me. She was one cycle week, so I always forget about that. But one of the things in Ohigan that you start talking about is the other shore. How many people know that? Ohigan is the other shore. You know, you go from east to west, you know, the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. I mean, you have all these metaphors. And how many people know where the Pure Land or the Western Shore is? Well, I'm glad Mr. Richard Modiano did raise his hand because nobody knows. You know, it's just a thought and an idea. It's just the same reason why we talk about the Amida Buddha. Well, do we even know what the Amida Buddha looks like? No. When it comes right down to it is, then we're showing in our 8th abbot, he said this: the best depiction of Namo Amida Butsu or the Amida Buddha are the 6 characters, Namo Amida Butsu. And why is that? He said the next best would be a picture. And then he said the worst, well, not the worst, but then the next best would be the statue. And why is that? If you think about it, when you create a statue, you're creating it from your own memory. But what kind of memory do we have when we don't even know what he looks like, or she, or it, or whatever? So we create something that we can see and relate to. We create from something that's unlimited to something that's limited so that we can understand. And then the reason to picture less details. So Namo-Minato gives you no idea of what you're looking at. It's beyond our ability to even think or even understand. So, getting back to the western shore of the pyramid, when we die, in our tradition, we believe that through the causes and conditions that the Amida Buddha creates, we will go to the pyramid. A lot of people talk about, Shinjin and things like that. Well, the fundamental reason that it's hard to understand what Shinjin is because it's personal. Every one of us has our own idea or understanding. Now, those people that don't know what Shinjin is are, in fact, if those people that think they know what Shinjin is, raise your hand. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what Shinjin is. Shinjin is something that is, and I'm going to kind of like define this and I'll get back to the Western shore. I like to use the word anji. Enyo Shonin was the one that used the word anji quite a bit. And he used it interchangeably with Shinjin. I mean, they define Shinjin as, the heart and mind or something along those lines, but who the heck knows what that means? But if you think about the word anshin suru, in Japanese it's, to be relieved. Anjin is the religious word for that. Anjin. Now, one of the things that, especially those people that are parents or maybe people that are teenagers that still live at home, when your parents tell you to be home by a certain time, and they expect you to be there by that, and you're 3 or 4 hours late, you think your parents are happy? Well, I tell you, my parents used to wait up at the door until I got to. They were pretty upset with me, but they were relieved. They were relieved. So, what it is when you talk about anji is to be relieved, so that you're not worried about where you're going to go, because we will go to the pyramid. It's not our decision, it's the causes and conditions that will make it so. Do you remember what I just read? Benediction Sandai, that's from the Shoshinge. And it says the multitudes of beings all receive the radiance. In other words, there's no discrimination. It cuts through the deepest dark. And lastly, the fulfillment of the vow of attaining nirvana without fail. In other words, it's not up to us, it's up to the causes and conditions that Amida Buddha created. Now, whether you believe that or not, that's okay. But if you're settled in your heart, then what do you have to worry about? In Jodo Shinshu, we're simply saying that if you're settled and not worried, then you can get on with your life. People don't know this, but then, Shinran Shonin, when he was asked, what happens when we die? And he would say, well, I think we're going to go to the Pure Land, and, we're going to go there to encounter truth, and we're going to become a Buddha. And then he turns around and he says, but you know something, I'm not 100% sure, because I don't know anybody that came back to tell me for sure. So, if this is the case, what it comes right down to is that if you are settled in your heart with Namo Amida Butsu, if you realize the strength of Namo Amida Butsu, the causes and conditions are already created, then what do you have to worry about? Why don't you just get on with your life? Live your life in the moment. Live your life right now, because the next moment may be gone. As was evidenced by my friends and all the people that I've lost in this short period of time. Now, we talk about Higan at the other shore, and it's Higan is not celebrated just by Jodo Shinshu. It's all those traditions. The biggest question is, how do you get to the other shore? It's not so much that the other shore exists or not, but how do you get there? The metaphor is that it's the ocean. You cross from the eastern coast to the west. You go west until you hit the land of the bliss. But how do you get there? You know, think about this. There is what you would call a way to get there. If you're a strong swimmer, maybe you can make it through swimming. You know? Or any other device. In Joro Shinshu, what we talk about is the vow as the vehicle. The vow as being the ship that we get on, the boat that we get on to cross to the other shore. And that's the vow of Namo Amida Butsu. So when we say Namo Amida Butsu, what we're simply saying is this: thank you for saving me. That's it, thank you. The gratitude is not for anything other than the fact that the causes and conditions for us to get to the other shore have already been created. Now, again, to take this back to a real perspective, is what does that really mean? You know, I just told you, Shoni said he wasn't sure, you know, what's going to happen. He also said this, is that if all the teachers that I've ever learned from, if all the scriptures that I've ever read from, you know, told me that I'm going to go to the Pure Land if I entrust myself. But then again, he said this: if perchance I find myself in front of the gates of hell, and everybody just lied to me, he said this: well, this is where I belong, because I couldn't have changed, because this is who I am. So again, this is to just put things into perspective. You know, whether you're going to fear your whole life about what's going to happen, Shinran Shoni points to the fact that you should be joyful that you're alive and able to live. If you live your life as well as you can, then what's there to worry about? Things will take care of themselves. If you simply go forward in life and take responsibility, what more could you ask for? And that's essentially what the Buddha is asking for, not just the Amida Buddha, but the Buddha. Just go forward in life and take responsibility. Now, to get back to how do we do it, again, I just told you that the Amida Buddha created the causes and conditions for us to be able to get to the other shore. Now, I'm going to introduce a song. And I don't know, I mean, this is really kind of for the older folks, because the younger folks are not really going to know this maybe. It's actually a modern gospel song. And it's written by Curtis Mayfield. And he sang it with the Impressions. It was done in 1965. This was actually a response to Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, which was done in 1963. And I'll read you the chorus. And the chorus is really, really important. And if you think about what I'm and why I'm doing this, it's because when I first got here, back in, I don't know, maybe 2006 or 7 or 8, when I first started teaching Dharma school here, Reverend John and I, well, in fact, I proposed to Reverend John, what we should do is become farmers. Not your typical farmers, but farmers that are going to raise ears that can hear a Joro Shinshu message. They can hear a Joro Shinshu message. No matter where you go, what you hear. And for that end, I'm going to introduce this song that does that for me. Now, you remember what I said, the vow of Namo Amida Butsu is the ship that takes us across the sea. And what it comes right down to is, here are the words for the song. People get ready. There's a train a-coming. You don't need no baggage. just get on board. All you need is faith. To hear the diesels humming, you don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. How many people here are familiar with that song? Yeah, it leans toward the older demographics. But it goes, people get ready, there's a train that come, you don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels hum. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. Thanking the Lord in Joro Shinshu is simply Namo Amidabu. Namo Amidabu. Thanking the Lord for the causes and conditions that will make it possible for us to eventually cross to the Western Shore. I have to be mindful of time because I told her Kory I'd only speak for about 20 minutes. Once I get going, I get awfully chatty. So you have, I think I still have some minutes left. But, if you think about life and all the things that you experience in here, it's varied. As you hear this message of Curtis Mayfield, it was written because, and this was written by this guy called Peter Burns. I think it's a song that touches people. The author of the biography, Curtis Mayfield, People Never Give Up. It's a song of faith, really, a faith that transcends any racial barrier and welcomes everyone onto the train. The train takes everyone to the promised land, really. That was what this Peter Burns said about it, who did a biography on Curtis Mayfield. I'm not sure if everybody here fully understood what I just said in regard to that, or even why people get ready. The song is very much a Joro Shinshu message. Does anybody here not understand? Come on, a few might. How about you? Do you understand? No? Well, for you, I'm going to just put it this way. You go swimming. When you first went swimming, did you learn how to swim just by, did they throw you in the pool and say, go to it? No. Why? You had to learn. How? Practicing. Tell me, did you ever use a float to help you cross the pool? That's Namo Amidabu. Think of it that way. When somebody allows you to do something, and in our tradition allows you to get to the Western Shore, that's Namo Amidabu. That's thanking Buddha for giving you the float. Okay? Do you understand a little bit better now? Good. The messages that are often taught in Joro Shinshu are sometimes cryptic. And this is why when I was in Japan, I learned that Namo Amidabu is really just thank you for the causes and conditions. Most people create all sorts of, things that are not really relevant. And sometimes they can mix things up. In our Buddhist tradition, we rely on the Amida Buddha. Why? Because we are incapable of truly learning. I mean, people talk about meditation. One of the things that we've learned is that meditation is a very ineffective way to become enlightened. Besides the historical Buddha, I'm not sure who else became enlightened positively. And maybe during the time when the Amida Buddha was, not Amida, but then the Shakyamuni Buddha was alive, that was as possible. But we are now in what they call the latter ages of the Dharma, where the Dharma is literally disappearing to the point where we will not have one. But because Namo Amidabu, the way to get to the other shore, was not created by us or through our own power, it's a path that's open even in the darkest times. It's almost, I'm going to speak for a few more minutes and then I'll turn it over, but before I do, I want to thank everybody that came here today. It's nice to see people that I've known from before. Documentalists always sit in the front. I hear he has a reason. Or, Tom, who always sits in the back. Always. I've never seen him sit anywhere except on the back row. And, there's all sorts of, people that I haven't seen in a long, long time. And there are a few faces here that I've never seen before. And, today, I've got to kind of split, right after the service because for some reason I got hoodwinked into being on my 60th high school reunion committee. And I don't know how that happened. And then when they found out it was a priest, they asked me to do the invocation. So, and this is something for us older folks. One thing you realize is that when you get older, you can't stay up too late. And I remember from the 50th high school reunion on, instead of in the evening, they did it in the afternoon. I remember the first time I saw that, I was kind of shocked. I said, I was getting ready, and then I looked at the program and realized that it was in the afternoon and not in the evening. And so that's what is happening today. All the people that can't stay up, that's why they do it earlier. You people that are younger, enjoy it while it lasts. That's all I can say. Thank you again for inviting me to be the guest speaker today. I hope a little of what I've said made some sense. The thing that I will tell you, and there's no denying this, is Jodo Shinshu is without a doubt the most compassionate religion this universe has ever seen. The most compassionate. It's a religion where, rather than having to beseech to be saved, the Amida Buddha is pleading with you to simply realize that this is a done deal. So, with that, I will end it with one quick thing. It's traditional. Every time I come over here and talk, I usually gift the temple on Inju. I've been giving, kukui nuts, but I've been doing that for a long time. And I'm going to have a little quote right here. I've got 3 onenjus. This one, which is a pale blue. This one, which is it's almost like a jade green. And this one, which has got sparkles in it, but you can't see, but it's black. Now, I'm going to give this to one of these to the temple, and for their silent auction during Okon. I just want to know, which one do you think I should give? Shall we have a raise of hands for the light blue, the jade, or the gold fleck black? Okay. 1. I'm only going to give 1. 1. Okay. How many for the light blue? Okay, 1, 2. How many for the jade green? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, how much for the gold fleck black? Oh, shoot. I gotta do the green and the black again because it was too close. It was too close. Okay, then this time, Richard, can you do the honors of actually counting? Okay, how many for the jade green? Yeah. Okay, how many for the gold fleck black? Okay. Reverend Kory? By the way, if you would like, this is actually a stone, it's not plastic. I wasn't going to try to hoodwink you with that. And with that, I will end my talk. Thanks very much for, sitting here patiently listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Fukumoto, for your message. Reverend Kory will now recite the 6 Paramitas. Please stand.
Paramitas 御仏様の御心に立ち返らさせていただいて、少しどうにしつつ、世の中からと温かい助け、つつましやかな態度で暮らしましょう。少しどうにしつつ、腹を立てますまい。少しどうにしつつ、不平不足を申しますまい。一つどうにしつつ、私の仕事に全身全霊をかけて尽くさせていただきましょう。一つどうにしつつ、夜昼常に私を守る様を御仏のご恩を喜ばさせていただきましょう。一つどうにしつつ、南無阿弥陀仏を伝えさせていただきましょう。6 Paramitas. Turning our thoughts to the Buddha. Let us throughout the day live with clear eyes, warm hearts, and humble attitudes. Let us throughout the day not become angry. Let us throughout the day not utter words of discontent, dissatisfaction, and untruth. Let us throughout the day do our daily work with all our power. Let us throughout the day rejoice in the loving compassion of our Lord Buddha, who is constantly watching over us day and night. Let us throughout the day repeat the holy name, Namu Amida Butsu. Promise. The Buddha is our eternal Father and Mother. The Buddha always keeps watch over us. We promise to listen to the teachings of the Buddha and perfect ourselves by following the Buddha's ideas. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu.
Temple President Tom Nakagiri will now offer words of appreciation.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks everyone for attending today's Spring Ohigan service. Thank you, Reverend Kory, for officiating, Modiano, Reverend Fukumoto for your Dharma message, Ozaki for being our chairperson, Judy Copfield for being our organist, our EV crew of Ron G, and all of our organization representatives, and finally the Buddhist Education Committee for providing us help for later. Thank you very much, and we'll see everyone downstairs for as well. Thank you.
Are there any announcements? Please unmute yourself if you'd like to make an announcement.
Good morning, I'm Phyllis Shibata, and on behalf of the Bujinkai, or Buddhist Women's Association, I invite you to donate your treasured Japanese or Buddhist items to the it is a third annual virtual Lumini boutique. It might be the last. Contact me if you'd like me to come over and look at your items, and I'll pick the ones that are likely to sell. So, but please don't just bring them to the temple because we don't have any place to put them right now. Thank you very much. So the Boutique will be online October the 1st through the 31st, but we're going to photograph and package the items at the end of May. So if you could get it to us before May, that would be wonderful. If it's after May, then we could possibly have another photographing and packaging session in August. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Minister's Assistant, Modiano. Tomorrow night we begin our second class in Introduction to Pure Land Buddhism. That starts at 7:30. The class is only 1 hour long, so it's not too painful. And I only really lecture, if you could call it that, for about 30 minutes, and the rest of the remaining 30 minutes is questions and answers and discussion. So all are welcome. I will have a handout that will summarize what we're going to be talking about tomorrow night. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I also have an announcement on behalf of our Buddhist Education Committee. Next Sunday, that is the 26th, we will be, 26th. We will be starting our film festival. The theme is disobedience, and we will be having screenings at 4 different Sundays, starting with the March 26th. We'll have a screening of the film and a discussion afterwards. Refreshments will be provided. Our first film is called Roma Città Aperta, which is Open City. It's a wartime picture filmed in Italy, and I believe it's in Italian, Richard?
Yes.
So I can practice my Italian. Anyway, and then thereafter, the succeeding films, 3 films after that will be every other Sunday after that, 11:30 a.m. at the temple. Hope you can join us. Thank you.
Hello, good morning again. Next week is our monthly Tsukitsuito or monthly memorial service. So if you like to join and recognize those that have passed away in the month of March, please come out. If you'd like to add a name too, you could always email us and we could add a family member's name to the list also. And read their names, so you can do also or burn incense for them. And then in 2 weeks, it's coming up real quick, 2 weeks already, April 2nd is going to be our temple Hatsumairi, or infant presentation, first service, and then Hanamatsuri service, where we celebrate Shakyamuni Buddha, or historical Buddha's birthday. So that's already 2 weeks. It's gonna be real quick. Then, then the week after that, I will not be able to be here, but we'll have a special guest coming as Matsubayashi Sensei on April 9th. And we'll also have another special guest on April 16th, Mr. Richard Modiano, that will be taking care of the temple on April 16th. So please come out and for those services. And then just to throw it in there, April monthly memorial service will be right around the corner. And then the week after that, April 30th. I know, huh? You just come to every service. Let's just say that, right? But April 30th, because of the World Buddhist Women's Convention held in Kyoto this year, and the 800th anniversary of Jodo Shinshu teaching, and the 850th birth of our founder, Shinran Shonin, whose picture is on the right on this side. Well, then some of us will be going to Japan for 2 weeks. So we'll have on April 30th, Otane service, which is a celebration of Shinran Shonin, or the founder of our sect's birth, on April 30th, rather than middle of the month. And then I'll be back just in time. So please email. Earlier is better, but email or contact me about Memorial Day. I know we're already talking about the end of May, because I'll be back. We'll be back May 23rd, which is that week of Memorial Day weekend, and so we'll take reservations for our Memorial Day services at Green Hills, Evergreen, Woodlawn, and Inglewood. And then also, of course, the Nokotsudo to temple. So if you'd like us to visit your family members' site and do a little service, not a little, but do a service, then please contact the temple or myself, so I can put you down and find out where we're going to visit. Okay? All right. That'll take us to June, and I don't have anything right now. But yeah, so I look forward to seeing all of you at all of those services for the next 2 months. So thank you very much.
One last announcement. Dharma School will be having our next Kids Club on April the 1st, which is a Saturday, from 4:30 to 7. Hopefully we'll see some of you there. We will be helping to decorate our meal before Hamatsu the next day. We will conclude this morning's service with the Gatha Ondokusan II, which is on page 58 of the Brown Service Book, as well as in your program. It will be followed by the reading of the Benediction. Please rise. We surround all people and all forms of life with infinite love and compassion. Particularly do we send forth loving thoughts to those in suffering and sorrow, to all those endowed in ignorance, and to those whose feet are standing close to the great change we call death. We send forth oceans of wisdom, mercy, and love. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Thank you for attending this morning's service. Please join us downstairs for Otonki.
Kansho for Otoki. Kansho. Thank you. We are truly grateful for this opportunity to share this wonderful meal. Thanks to all the many people and living beings that surround us who made this occasion possible. With deep gratitude, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu.